So, in this lecture I am going to discuss about both hypo and hypo-eutectoid steel, and as you see here I have drawn two lines, one red, one yellow on the diagram. The red one corresponding to hypo-eutectoid steel, whereas the yellow one corresponding to hyper-eutectoid steel. Let us first discuss the hypo-eutectoid steel. You know, hypo-eutectoid steel falls any steel composition between 0.8 to 0.02. Okay, that is the hypo-eutectoid steel compositions. Below 0.8 and more than 0.02. On the other hand, hyper-eutectoid steel basically theoretically more than 0.8 until 2, but practically from 0.8 to 1.2% carbon steel. So, hypo, I write hypo means hypo-eutectoid, range is 0.02 to 0.8 weight percent carbon steel, and hyper basically 0.8 more than 0.8 to 1.2 weight percent carbon. As you see, this category of steel which falls between 0.02 to 0.8% carbon weight percent carbon, they are the ones which are widely used in the industry, because most of the steels which are produced in this are called mild steels. The concentration varies from 0.15 to 0.5% carbon concentration, and they are widely used. All these steels transformation what I am going to discuss is very important for you to know, because whether you are in industry or in a teaching institute or you are in a research lab, these basic fundamentals are very important for you to understand. So, if I start a steel with suppose about 0.3 weight percent carbon, this one the red arrow, I am going to heat it up to about 950 degrees Celsius temperature. I know that 910 is basically the stability of alpha phase in pure iron, alpha iron. So, at 950 degrees Celsius temperature, as you see from this diagram, it is completely, it will have gamma austenitic stage, gamma iron. The microstructure I shown you, all the gamma grains will be that. Now, if I cool it down, what will happen? If I cool it down, nothing will happen till I hit this line or this curve called A3 curve. This is A3 curve. Okay. So, this A3 curve will be the first curve it will hit as you cool it down, and below this you have a region called alpha plus gamma. So, therefore, at 950 degrees Celsius temperature you will have all gamma grains, let me draw, okay, and below A3 what will happen? You will have gamma plus alpha. That means what? Some alpha grains will form from the gamma, some of the gamma grains will transform into alpha, and you know any phase transformations, the regions at the boundaries or the junction points are the ones in which nucleation is very easy. So, therefore, alpha will nucleate a form like that, this is alpha, this is gamma, or it can also form along the boundaries, okay, or it can also form here at the entry points. These are the alpha grains which will form, and as you know, alpha has, as the alpha forms, alpha will have concentration of these given by these curve, these ones, this is the alpha curve corresponding to this, alpha composition will be given by this. So, alpha concentration will be much lower than this 0.3 at weight percent of carbon for the alloy composition which you have taken, because alpha has almost, alpha contains virtually no carbon, almost or very little carbon. As alpha will have no carbon, so as the alpha grows, the carbon will be going out from alpha and they will be enriching the gamma grains. Is it clear? The carbon from alpha will be enriching the gamma grains, because alpha does not require carbon. So, it will say carbon go away. So, carbon will go away from alpha grains and they will join all the gamma grains. So, gamma will be enriched in carbon concentration, and because of that carbon concentration, gamma grain will follow this curve as I drawn, the A3 curve you see here, and as this transformation from gamma to alpha will keep on happening from this temperature at which it hits this A3 line till above A1 line. Okay. This is the range in which gamma will transform to alpha. So, now because you have a temperature range in which alpha can grow, so there will be some gamma left over, because all the gamma will not transform into alpha, some gamma will be left over, because the temperature of transformation is very small before it hits A1 temperature. And as you know, in a steel metallurgy, A1 is very important temperature, below A1 eutectoid transformation happens. So, as you know, as you decrease the temperature from these to A1, just above A1, the concentration of the gamma gains will reach 0.8, because gamma will be enriched with carbon. As alpha, more alpha will form, the concentration of gamma will change from 0.3 to 0.8, and when it happens, so below A1, when it happens, all these gamma grains will transform into pearlite, and alpha will also become little bigger. So, all these gamma grains will become pearlite. That is what I am drawing, this is the way, this is alpha. Okay. So, you can clearly see so all the gamma grains has transformed into pearlite. These are all pearlite. Pearlite, this white line is cementite, and this region, green region is alpha. Is it clear? This is exactly will happen if you cool it down from 950 degrees Celsius to below A1 temperature, and below A1 to this temperature nothing much will happen except the microstructure will become coarser, or things will become looking bigger and bigger, because you are cooling down from 727 to room temperature is quite a lot. That is not going to happen. So, I am not going to draw it. So, phase mixture will change from pure gamma to gamma and alpha to alpha and pearlite. As you know, there are two types of alpha here. One is this alpha which I have drawn, the big blobs of alpha, and other one is here in the eutectoid alpha. So, this alpha which I have drawn here is known as pro-eutectoid alpha, pro-eutectoid alpha, and this alpha, this within the lamellae or within the eutectoid is called eutectoid alpha. So, you can write down that also, eutectoid alpha. So, these two are formed different ways. The first one has formed directly from the gamma grain within the grain boundaries of gamma, and second one is because of the eutectoid transformation. So, the mechanisms of formation of these two are different, but you know this microstructure even is more wonderful. Why? Because these alpha grains are bigger and they are very soft. So, they will provide all the ductility or the toughness of the material. On the other hand, the in situ composite pearlite which is there as a lines in situ composites, those in situ composites will be giving the strength of the material, and that is why bulk application or the large application of these steels are in the structural applications, because the structural application requires strong and ductile tough material, and this provides that. So, as you see, as I told you in the very beginning of this course, the microstructure actually connects the mechanical properties of the material, and here we can process the material in such a way I can generate a beautiful microstructure in which I have alpha grains which will give me the ductility or toughness, and the pearlite, because of presence of cementite in the pearlite, it will give you the strength. So, I get both. What else I need? I do not need anything else. So, this is the way the transformation will happen for these. Now, you know alpha actually can form many different ways, and because alpha phase, pro-eutectoid alpha phase controls the mechanical properties so importantly, so that it is important for us to know what are the ways alpha can form. There are many ways alpha can form, and I have drawn only one, or rather two ways. One is at the grain bound, the other one is at the triple junction points. There are many ways alpha can form. So, first of all, before I go into that alpha formation and how alpha forms, I just wanted to tell you that this way of transformations from 950 to room temperature or below the eutectoid transformation temperature, you must encrypt in your brain. You should not forget, because this is what is normally very important for anybody who is doing this course to grasp and understand nicely. So, all the alloys between 0.02 to 0.8 will have that transformation. What is going to change as you increase the carbon concentration from 0.02 to 0.8, that means you go from this part to this part. What is going to change? Things which is going to change is that the volume fraction of this po-eutectoid alpha is going to change. So, for the alloys with very low carbon concentration like 0.1, 0.05, 0.2, 0.3, the volume fraction of alpha will be quite substantially large, but the alloys which are having higher carbon concentration, higher means 0.7, 0.6, 0.65, 0.75 weight percentage, the perlite will be more. So, you can see by choosing the particular alloy carbon concentration or particular carbon concentration, I can change the relative volume fraction of these primary alpha or po-eutectoid alpha phase and the perlite, and by changing that I change the mechanical properties. How do I calculate that? Very simple. Okay, by using again by lever rule. Suppose for this alloy I am doing it, this is 0.02 alpha side and this is 0.3, this is my one is my Falcon is present, this is 0.8. So, what will be the percentage of the pro-eutectoid alpha? Very simple, this is this arm 0.8 minus 0.3 divided by 0.8 minus 0.02 into 100. How much this is? 0.05 divided by 0.8, approximately this is 0.8, does not change much, 0.78 you can write into 100. So, that means it is 1 by 16, how much? Okay. So, let us consider this is 0.8 easy. So, 5 by 8 into 100, 500 by 8, so 50 by 8, 50 by 8 is how much? 50 by 8 is, sorry, yes, 50 by 8, that is about 16 percentage. Oh, 16 percentage, how much? 50 divided by 8, okay. That is about 16 or 17 percentage. No, not 16, 17%. I am doing something wrong. So, that is why. So, this is 5 by 8 into 100. So, this is how much? 8, 16, 15, yeah, 15 about 75 percentage. So, bulk of this alloy for 0.3, bulk of this, the way I have drawn is wrong, you can understand. Bulk of the grains of these things will be consisting of po-eutectoid alpha. Only 25% will be perlite, perlite will be only 25%, and opposite will happen if you consider 0.6% of the carbon, perlite will be for 65% or 75% and the rest will be the alpha. So, by changing that we can actually change the volume fraction of the phases, and this is the way you have to calculate. This is application of lever rule, simply application of lever rule. So, okay, now let us go into how many different ways of alpha can form. It seems there are actually I also forget. So, I have written down in the page there are actually 4 different types of alpha. I will write down one by one and let me do that here. Okay. So, first one is known as grain boundary alpha, the one I have drawn, or this is basically different types of alpha. First one is known as grain boundary alpha. I will write one by one and then I will draw the picture. Grain boundary allotriomorph is called. Why it is called allotriomorph? Because this is allotropic transformation. Gamma to alpha is allotropic transformations normally. So, and it looks like this, it will be, these are the 2 gamma grains and this is alpha, and this is a boundary. Or let me just put a color things, then you can understand. This is a boundary between 2 gamma grains and this is your alpha. Okay. This is the grain boundary allotrope. There are many variations of these. Obviously, one variation will be very simple, faceted on the other one side. What is that? That is because if one side of alpha has a nice orientation relationship with the gamma, then it will have faceted morphology. Very simple. Why? Because it has have a orientation relationship, it will try to keep that interface fixed, it will not change, disturb that. So, that is why it will look like faceted. Same thing can happen on both sides also, same thing happen on the both side also. Oops, not fall. Okay, same thing happen on the both side. So, this is alpha. So, I am doing the 3 variation number 1, variation number A, B, C, all are seen in a particular microstructure, all are seen. So, this is the gain boundary allotropomorphs. It is the most widely seen things in the microstructure. I will show you, I mean some pictures. The second one I am going to wrap it up and write down. Second one is known as Widmanstatten. This is a scientist from France, Alois Widmanstatten, and he first time Widmanstatten, and above A there will be 2 dots, this is called umlaut, he is a French person, that is why Widmanstatten plates. They are plates actually, but it was discovered first time by Widmanstatten, that is why the name. Widmanstatten is a general side plates or plates. How it will look like? It will be like this. So, this is a gamma grain, this is another gamma grain, and in between you have this alpha, this is a boundary, okay. Let me draw the boundary by red color, and these are the alpha plates, they are looking like a plate, okay, needle basically, needle actually you can say needle, better way to take needle. Plates will be like a finite thickness. So, these are the alpha. So, this is one such, another one will be a mixture of the earlier one and this one. What it will be? Okay. Let me just draw it nicely, mixture of this one and this one, this is the boundary, and okay. So, as you see this is alpha, as you see this is the boundary, the red color, and this one, this side it has maintained a curve interface, other side is a plates. So, this is a mixture of the gain boundary allotropomorph and the Widmanstatten plates. So, that is how the second, this is second category, sorry, this second one, this is the second type of alpha which is seen. Third type of alpha is intergranular alpha. Okay, intergranular alpha is how does it look like? Intergranular alpha will be within the grains, this intragranular alpha, intergranular allotropomorphs. So, this will be within the grains like this. Okay. These are the 2 gamma grains and these are actually 2 alpha. Within the gamma they are plate like or needle like, these 2 are alpha, this is also alpha. This is called intergranular allotropomorph. And the last category is known as idiomorphs. So, this is third, fourth one is known as idiomorphs. What is idiomorph? Well, idiomorph is a crystal basically, big crystal within the gamma grain. So, if this is the alpha, well, let me draw it again yellow color, and this forms within the gamma grain, and this is the alpha. So, difference between intergranular allotropomorph and idiomorph is that intergranular allotropomorph will be lens shaped or they are like a plate. On the other hand, these are crystals, these are actually crystals present inside that. So, these are the 4 different types of alpha which can form. Each one has different probability of formation. So, obviously, this one has the least probability of formation, because this requires to be nucleated and grown inside the grain. The first one, grain boundary allotropy and Widmanstatin, both are actually more probability to form, and these two are the least probability to form. Remember, each type of alpha has different mechanical properties. Why? Because of orientation relationship, because of the shape, because of the size, they have different kinds of strength, with different kinds of mechanical properties. So, mostly almost all the alpha will be like this, the way I have drawn. So, now in the next few minutes I am going to show you the pictures of the alpha. I do not think I will be able to discuss with you hyper-eutectoid steel, which I will do in the next class, and so you know steel requires a lot of interesting discussion. So, we will move slowly. So, you know, in the slides I am going to show you some of these things very nicely. Let me just get it back. So, this first picture, it is basically hypo-eutectoid steel. As you see, these are the alpha, this is alpha. All the alpha has formed prior cementite, prior austenite grain boundaries, and this is the some of these austenite has transformed to perlite. Okay. So, and we are discussing about this morphologies of the alpha. Here they are formed, this is a boundary, pyroaustenite grain boundary. See, they are formed like a the way I have drawn, like this. Okay. Now, I just want to show you this allotriomorph. So, grain boundary allotriomorphic ferrite is like this needle crystal, you can see here. Okay, it has formed between the two gamma grains, previously gamma it has transformed into perlite already, and this is known as allotriomorph ferrite, and this is the Widmanstatin ferrite. You see one side the interface is flat, other side it has formed these plates, and I have already drawn in the board exactly similar morphology to impress you upon. So, this is the Widmanstatin ferrite, this is the allotriomorphic ferrite. So, now actually so I have discussed with you this microstructure, I have discussed you to completely perlite. What I need to discuss is this hyper-eutectoid steel, but to show you eutectoid steel, to show you that this consisting of cementite, this white things are cementite crystals and the perlite. So, the cementite crystal has decorated the pyroaustenite grain boundaries, and these are the perlites, that is all. So, we are going to discuss in detail about this in the next class, and finish the perlite transformation in the next class, then I have to go on to the other transformations.